Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kia Simone, and we are here to talk about Kandi and this trap house of a restaurant she is running. This is absolutely a scheme set up by Todd to come at us with the bull. Kandi should have listened to Aunt Bertha years ago when she was buying her wedding dress and baby, I don't think you should marry. And this is a scheme set up by Todd. They were trying to tell her what was in the future because this is an absolute mess. And for somebody like me who has an extensive background in customer service and customer service management, this show triggered the hell out of me. I can't even find that. Philip will make you fight. Philip makes this show hard to watch. Something is wrong with him, and the fact that Kandi allows the things that goes on in her restaurant to go on, I got an issue with it. Before we get all the way into it, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I am getting real close to 7,000, and I do intend to act brand new when I hit my 7,000. If you would be so kind, if you're not in the number, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Help me get on up there, so we can act brand new together. But anyway, let's get into this. I'm going to do my very best to make this cohesive, but it's all over the place, just like everything going on in that restaurant. It's just a mess, but let's get into it. They basically start the series off with showing us Kandi and Todd going into the restaurant, that they're introducing this new director of operations because they cannot keep a manager in this place. And the new guy is this guy, Philip. Philip is the a-hole representative. Philip literally triggers me. I don't find nothing funny about Philip. Philip is hard to watch. Philip makes you want to catch a charge. And the thing about Philip is he's the type of guy that will push people until they do, because he gets off on the reaction. Because he has absolutely no power, no influence, he is unaccomplished. And so he gets off on making people feel small because he feels small. I cannot stand that guy. And the fact that Kandi brought this disrespectful piece of work into her restaurant to mistreat her employees, and while she stands there and acts like, she's just this sweet lady and she doesn't know what's going on, she's just providing the money for this disaster. This is the same Kandi that got her ass on the internet carrying on by some young girl at Chick-fil-A not telling her my pleasure. Kandi basically has a restaurant full of poor performers. So to combat the underperformers, Kandi and Todd decide they're going to bring in this wannabe G.I. Joe, aka Philip, who is supposed to be the new director of operations. The issue is Philip didn't come equipped with any managerial skills outside of talking to people like he's crazy. For some reason, he equates rudeness with professionalism. I don't understand why you would hire somebody and know that they treat your employees like this and then act like it's not on your hands. I don't get it. Kandi plays this role like she's just the money person behind it all. But Todd is in charge, and then under Todd is going to be Don Juan, and then under Don Juan is going to be Philip. No, these are all your puppets from Todd on down. It's like Kandi is paying to be absolved of any responsibility. She wants to be the face and the mascot of the business. She wants to be the financier. But then when it comes to being accountable for how this business is run, she got the nerve to say it's frustrating that people want to blame her when stuff goes wrong. Girl, this whole playing off to Todd and letting Todd run the business when we know Todd cannot run the business for the sake of his ego. Like watching Todd and how he operates in this business, how he treats the employees, how he's so quick to support mistreating people and they need to go. And if they ain't doing this, then they need to go. Like, you can tell you ain't never had nothing. You ain't never run no business, and you ain't had access to do it until you got access to this girl's wallet. Kandi and Todd introduced Philip to the team. The team does not like him. And Chandrika, who is the host that has been there since OLG opened, but also fails to do her job, lets it be known, I don't like him. And so Don Juan pulls her aside, like, what do you mean you don't like him? You don't even know him. She's like, it's the vibes. And Philip decides he is offended, and he wants to let her know how much power he has and how basically she has nothing to say to him, and he doesn't go back and forth with hourly employees that he employs to do a job. First of all, you are an employee yourself. You don't run, and that's your problem. The issue is you want to be the Kandi and Todd, but you're not. You can't figure out how to get there, and since you're stuck, you want to treat everybody else like shit in the meantime. I don't like that damn Philip. You ain't going back and forth with hourly employees that you employ to do a job. You don't. Where's your name on the OLG paperwork? I would love to know. Don Juan is trying to actually fix the situation, pulls her to the side, and she's obviously upset. She's crying, and this little Jack is still in the background. That's not gonna work. I don't care about her cry. Bruh, you are gonna run up on the right one, and somebody is gonna hurt you, because not everybody give a damn about their $12.50 an hour job, okay? You are not gonna be talking to people like that when y'all don't even pay a livable wage, and you talking to people like you crazy. Somebody might whoop your ass. You better stop. So because Chandrika is upset, and she's expressed herself to Don Juan, and she's continuing to express herself to another coworker, this little dude gets mad. Him, being the insecure little tyrant that he is, sends her home because he wants her to know that he's in charge. And when Don Juan lets Kandi know that this dude just sent the girl home because she don't like him, Kandi's, well, why did he send her home? Kandi, save the BS act, okay? You know what Philip gives me? Philip gives me the black guy that doesn't like other black people. And that's why he treats them so nastily. Something is really, really wrong with him. And the fact that Kandi and Todd bring this dude in this restaurant, they're aware that he's abrasive and rude and mean and nasty in terms of how he does business and how he relates to the employees, and they turn a blind eye. Todd literally seconds anything he does. Yeah, they need to go. And Kandi sits there and I don't agree, but basically like Todd is in charge, when the truth is you're in charge, but you're just trying to not upset his ego. So you're going to let him half-ass run this business and run it in the ground so that you can have a husband whose ego is intact. Please, y'all, go to hell. Todd is unprofessional, Todd is ignorant, and Todd is a hater, okay? The things that come out of Todd's mouth, I don't know how this man turns Kandi on. It is just like, ew, you're such a hater. That is such a turnoff. Like, how does a man who came up because of the woman he's with literally try to put his foot on anybody's neck she tries to help? Todd is such a kept woman. It's sick. We move on from the restaurant and we see Kandi meeting with her mom and her aunt. So Kandi has a staff meeting with her aunts, basically to let them know they ain't staff. Y'all are the mascots. Y'all don't work here though. Aunt Bertha is who I want to be when I grow up, okay? Aunt Bertha don't give a damn. Aunt Bertha tell you just how she feel. Aunt Bertha literally does not have the first or last damn to give. And she gonna let you know just how she feel. She think a lot of this is some stupid, okay? And she can't take a whole bunch of stupid shit. I understand Aunt Bertha. Now Aunt Nora is 80 years old and still threatening to throw people's asses down, okay? Aunt Nora is in the restaurant letting the little girls know, I ain't one of these little girls, and if you take one more step, I'm going to throw your ass over that fence. I said, well, Aunt Nora, you better get down. Aunt Nora is who I am now. Aunt Bertha is who I'm trying to be. So we see her sit down and talk to them. And Aunt Bertha lets her know that her take on the staff is ain't none of them worth a damn. Especially that Chandrilla that used to work there. And Kandi said, do you mean Chandrika that still work there? And Aunt Bertha looked like, well, damn. Y'all just keep any damn body round there. You know, Aunt Nora let it be known that, yes, I was round there threatening to whoop ass. And I mean that. Kandi said, well, Aunt Nora, you do know you 80. Yes, I know. When you hear an elder say that, yes, I know, and they grab your hand, like Aunt Nora grabbed Kandi's hand and rock a little bit, they mean that from their soul. They will summon the ancestors and bust your head. Please leave that lady alone. Mama Joyce comes outside for her meeting and lets it be known she ain't gonna just say ain't none of them worth a damn. She calling names. Please give her a pen and paper so she can write her damn statement. Mama Joyce said that Brandon said he don't give a damn about the restaurant. Yeah, he said it and I heard him say it. Y'all better let it be known y'all ain't taking note in y'all restaurant. So Kandi she gets their feedback and then she sits them down to let them know y'all is just the mascots, okay? I'm gonna need y'all to stop running up on the staff and threatening to whoop their ass and going in the kitchen and telling them they ain't cooking the greens right, all right? I'm gonna need y'all to back on up and let us run this. And Mama Joyce said, I don't argue with nobody. All of them had to tell her, please stop. Like, you're doing too much. That lie was too far. Aunt Bertha just done checked out. And Kandi asked her, well, what's wrong, Aunt Bertha? What you thinking about? Aunt Bertha said, I'm listening at you. I'm just counting these pillars. I said, Aunt Bertha, I understand. From here on out, that's my line, henceforth, now, and forever. I'm listening at you. I'm just counting these pillars. I don't give a damn what you're talking about. Please leave me alone. So then we see Kandi has this yard party reunion to bring together all of the old and current OLG employees. And Todd wants to use this as a mixer to have the current employees and old employees bring some of their friends who are also in the food and bev business so that they can try to hire them. Listen, as much as you don't want them old employees don't want you. So don't think that you around here keeping some coveted job from them that you go offer to their friends. Because trust and believe, we treat jobs just like we treat men. We round here telling people, don't mess with them, okay? Because they really ain't no good. They ain't about their business. So the likelihood that you are going to fish out new talent from your old talent is very low. But if you were any form of a businessman, if you had any understanding of how to treat people, you'd know that. So at this little yard party, we get to meet some of the staff who are going to be the key players in the show. Well, we've met Dominique, who is a bartender and a professional dancer. She's gone on tour with Megan Thee Stallion, and she basically is working at OLG as a bartender between gigs. We've met Chandrika, who is the host, who has been there since the beginning, who is super unprofessional, and we see her running late to work, pulling rollers out her hair and all kind of stuff. We know she don't give a damn about this job. We meet Tauren, who is the former event planner for OLG. He used to be one of the many managers they had that they have run through, and he got sick of their stuff and he just left. But apparently he was the party starter, and so they want to try to get him and his energy back around there because he was bringing money in the dough. We meet Brian. Brian is the former head bartender who is at the yard party promoting his own food business. I said, you better. When I tell you I absolutely love Brian just has something. You know what I'm saying? He has that thing that you just like him. We also meet Richard, who is a fly guy from East Baltimore. He worked at Blaze as a host, and Kandi is inviting him to come work at OLG as a host and bring some of his style, swagger, and professionalism. Well, Kandi, if you ain't bringing the style, swagger, and professionalism, and if you are not requiring certain levels of professionalism, what the hell makes you think a host with a nice suit on is going to change something? Girl, bye. We also meet Brandon, who is the current general manager, I guess. He only applied for a job at OLG after he saw Dominique when he was there as a patron. And she was so damn fine that he said, I'm going to have to get me a job here and work my way up to her. That's all this party really was. It was just a mixer. We get to see who these people are. Moving on. We see Chandrika arriving. Sis is pulling up to work a minute before the restaurant opens. cursing the people out in traffic and snatching rollers out her head, okay? Sounds like a work day. Let me tell you what my issue is. Don, Juan, Philip, everybody is going off that Chandrika walked in the door a minute before the restaurant was scheduled to open. And Don Juan makes this comment, or somebody made this comment about to be early is to be on time is to be late. I get that. Let me tell you my position on that. As an employer, you should not expect anything more than you pay for. What was her schedule? Was she scheduled to be there at, say, if the restaurant opens at 11, did you schedule her at 11? Because if you scheduled her at 11, she's not late. That's your problem. That's your poor planning. That's you not knowing how to run your business. Now, if you scheduled her at 10:30 and she's not getting there till 11, then there's an issue. But to expect that somebody is just going to arrive early because they want to impress you as an employer, you're going to have to go somewhere with that. If y'all schedule me at 9 o'clock, but you want people here at 8:40 because you want to have a meeting every morning, I am not giving you 20 minutes, 5 days a week for free. That's what we're not going to do. Now, if you won't pay me to be here, then we'll work it out. But you should not expect what you pay for. That might be an unpopular opinion. I don't really care. Especially when you are underpaying and overworking people. Please find the first seat in hell. Now, what I will say about Chandrika, she is extremely unprofessional. She don't know how to talk to customers. She literally gets online and gives the company a bad name, talking about customers, bothering her about when are their tables going to be ready. And Kandi considers her loyal because she keeps coming back. Her business plan is to keep people because they're loyal. Basically because they ain't going nowhere. We just gonna keep them around. Kandi, that ain't loyal. They're loitering. But, it's neither here nor there. You do what works for you, but this ain't working for you. You got C's on your door and stuff. It's not working for you, but let's just. So episode 1 comes to an end with a power outage amidst the madness. I'll be damned. You mean to tell me the lights ain't popped back on because these folks ain't got no generator? Todd is talking about they ain't got no generator because it's too much work. You got to go down to the city and get permits and all kind of stuff. You got to know where you going to put it, and it's just too much. So I figure we could deal with a power outage, 1 or 2 hours. I can put up with that. That's exactly why you got a C on your damn door right now. That's exactly why. Letting meat just get hot. That's why. They don't have no generator and they don't have no apologies. Philip is chasing people around the restaurant. Don't let them out. Don't let them out because they got to pay their bill. They ain't going to leave without paying their bill. You mean to tell me y'all didn't handle y'all's business? So when the power went out, y'all had no backup power source. And so now you want to treat your patrons like criminals? Y'all ain't never got to worry about me. Because I'm telling you right now, I was going to go from patron to criminal. And that soon as you start talking to me like one. Because y'all don't know how to run y'all's business. Philip is a liability beyond liabilities. He is, between him and Todd, they going to tear that business down. So Kandi arrives just as the power went out, and finally, her patrons start to get an apology because she goes around to tell people, I'm sorry that this is happening. What you need to be telling them is, I'm sorry that on top of this happening, my GM is treating y'all like criminals. I am so sorry. Y'all need to be comping some stuff. That's what y'all need to be doing. I just was, I'm wondering what's worse. Know my pleasure or no power? Kandi, stay your ass off the internet talking about antibody in any form of food and bev when you run in this damn soup kitchen here. Episode 2 seemed to focus on more of the relationships, right? But I'm going to tell you what stood out in episode 2 for me. When Kandi starts talking about her cousin and godson Melvin, who is the cook for the restaurant and also Aunt Bertha's grandson, she talks about the fact that he has worked his way up, that, you know, he started in the restaurant as a dishwasher, he went to culinary school, and now has become the restaurant's cook. Well, Tiny Todd decides to interject to say, no, you sent him to culinary school. You put him through culinary school. And Kandi says, well, no, I didn't pay for everything. Well, baby, she put you through adulthood. I cannot with Todd. Like, how dare you sit up and hate on somebody who is literally her blood relative? This is somebody she knew long before she ever found out that you existed, Tiny Tim. And you got the nerve to talk trash about her helping her cousin whose father has been in prison and who has been disadvantaged for a very long time because she actually helped him. She invested in him to help him come up and be better and do better. What, should she only do that for you? Should she only be funding you, Mrs. Burris? Todd makes me sick. Todd is a Mr. Mom, kept woman hater. I cannot stand him. And the fact that you, as a black man, as a father, as a middle-aged adult, would be hating on somebody who could technically be your child. Todd needs to be ashamed. But I'm kind of not surprised because he's a soul to his own daughter. So I'm not really shocked. And by the same token, I want to say that I think Melvin is so sweet. To see him in the kitchen with Aunt Bertha, you know, cooking with his grandmother, and to see the joy he gets out of that is just heartwarming to me. Melvin deserves everything good that comes to him. And I pray that he's not affected by somebody like Todd. Todd is an emotional menace. Kandi FaceTimes Melvin while he's at Aunt Bertha's house, and she talks to him and Aunt Bertha about the fact that she's wanting to call a little family meeting because, yeah, they done had a major fallout over the restaurant. Mama Joyce has apparently cursed out one of Kandi's cousins. She done quit the restaurant, stormed out, and tried to take everybody with her. And now the family is divided and in disarray, and they need to sit down and talk about it. Now, in the meantime, in between time, before we get to this family meeting, we get to see Brian, who is the former head bartender that we met at that yard party, that he is coming back to OLG as a server. Let me tell you, Brian is literally the only reason I would go to OLG right now. The only reason. He engages his customers in a way that feels personal but is still professional. And it relaxes people. It makes you feel like you're in a comfortable, familiar environment that you're welcomed into. And I love that. I love that he brings himself to the service he provides. He's just amazing. But here comes G.I. Jack messing with the boy. I, for the life of me, will never understand bad managers who run off good employees. I will never, for the life of me, understand it. Brian is trying to get his day started. Philip is, I'm going to show you where you're going to be working. And he said, well, normally I work upstairs and downstairs. I'll show you where you're going to be working. And rather than just show him to a section, he wants to pull him aside to basically ask him, do you know who I am? And what brought you back? And he was like, well, I guess changes like me? Like the changes I've made? No, you ass. Changes meaning I need a check, okay? I don't care nothing about you running this restaurant. You are number 12. 13, 14, and 15 is right outside. Please go to hell. Don't nobody give a damn about you. Brian manages to go forth and provide excellent service like the professional that he is. Then we see the staff get together and they all go out and have drinks. I really do like that the staff has a friendship, whether they are unprofessional or not. I just like that they kind of have a bond that goes beyond the job. But they get together and they're basically venting. Well, the issue is that one of the employees who has been invited to this little round table for them to have some drinks and let their hair down is Kandi's little cousin Patrick, who runs the parking lot behind the restaurant. Well, him and Chandrika used to have a little situation shit that didn't work out. And Chandrika happens to be sitting at the head of this table running down all the issues she got with OLG. So you got two problems. First of all, this is Kandi's cousin. And this is Kandi's cousin who is maybe a little bit jaded because he done got dismissed from his situationship. Chandrika lets it be known she's only getting paid $12.50 an hour, which is not only not a livable wage, but also less than the $17.50 they are making at the Family Dollar down the street. Well, Chandrika, if you know like I know, I would tell you to go put your name on a piece of paper that says Family Dollar application for employment and go get your $17.50 rather than be talked to like this for $12. But you know, that's just me. What do I know? Now we finally make it to the OLG family showdown. You got Aunt Bertha, you got Aunt Nora, and you got Mama Joyce. On the other side of the table, you have Kandi, Kandi's cousin Kim, who seems to be on trial today, and you have Weenie, who is also Kandi's cousin, who is there to facilitate this meeting and try to keep the peace. Well, Kim apparently quit OLG because she was tired of being beat up on and talked to all kinds of ways. And she said Mama Joyce was talking to her all kinds of ways about how that's her mother restaurant. And they better clean her damn kitchen and her mother restaurant. And they just take off back and forth. And the who ain't said nothing about the mother restaurant. I never said that was none of my mother restaurant. I know that ain't my restaurant. Aunt Joyce, you said that. You said that. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. We done seen you curse people out. We done seen you curse people out that didn't even answer their phone. We have seen you throw shoes at people for speaking back to you. You absolutely cursed this girl out. So Aunt Nora is jumping in and, you know, she rolling her eyes and she ain't trying to hear what little cousin Kim is talking about. And Kim says, well, hold on. I'm trying to figure out why Aunt Nora got an attitude because Aunt Nora wasn't even there. Aunt Nora, basically, I don't need to be there. I know what Joyce told me. Aunt Nora done jumped up, but she gonna throw Kim down like she did before. Lord. Kandi and Weenie jump up trying to keep Aunt Nora and Kim apart. Kim done stepped from behind the table, told me ain't nothing but space and opportunity. Come get some. I said, what in the family meeting hell is going on here? Somebody called a law. So Kandi and Weenie finally get them to calm down. Aunt Bertha want everybody to just get along. She want to know, first of all, why is Joyce cussing so? Everything, just why you cussing so? I ain't cussing, I'm just repeating what she said. She said, I said that's my mother restaurant. That ain't my mother restaurant. Aunt Bertha said, you go hug your aunt over there. Kim said, Mama, you asking for too much now. I'm not. Nora said, you right. She asking for too much. No, she gonna have to leave me alone. Kandi said, yeah, everybody think my Aunt Nora is real sweet. And she is. But back in her day, she was known to whoop a lot of ass. I don't think that was back in her day. I think that is this day. She will whoop your ass. That's what I think you don't understand. They all calm down over some fried chicken. Joyce done brought a bunch of fried chicken and sub sandwiches, and after they done wore themselves out trying to whoop each other's ass, they go and bond over chicken. I tell you, I love black people. I love us. For real, in my Monique voice. We move on from the family meeting that we are so grateful to have survived. And we get back to the restaurant and see that Tauren, the event planner, has been rehired. And he is there to do some measurements so he can do some decor planning to get started on his events. He goes into the little space to take his measurements. And who is sitting in there but the big guy with the little personality? He goes in and he gets to taking measurements, and Philip literally picks a fight with him. I don't know why Philip is on TV, but I wish somebody would take him off. Like, this is not even entertaining. This man is abrasive and abusive. He literally picks a fight with this man about, do you want to come sit down and talk to me? No, don't you see I got a tape measure in my hand? I don't want to measure you. You don't fit into my design plan. No, I don't want to talk to you. Tauren starts explaining who he is and his history with OLG, that he just met with Juan about doing these measurements. And Phillips wants to start running off that he is third in command to Kandi and Juan. So it's Kandi, it's Juan, and then it's him. Well, stupid. If you had listened to what the man just told you, you wouldn't have let any of this stupidity fly out of your mouth. He just told you that he talked to Juan and Juan sent him in here. Your boss is who sent him in here. You don't have nothing to say. Please shut your ass up. So when Tauren says, listen, I introduced myself, I told you my background, and you have not done the same for me. This man says, yeah, because I'm not applying for a job. Neither is he. You will be after the season. Bet that. I don't care if this is scripted. If you watch this show, watch how this man behaves in your establishment and treats your employees, and you retain him with your company, you want to fail. This is a scheme set up by Todd to come at us with the bull. So episode 3 picks up at the end of this disrespectful ass dialogue between Tauren and Philip. Tauren just walked out, and I do not blame him, because Philip will cause you to catch a case. Kandi happened to be showing up at the restaurant at that time. So he pulls Kandi aside, they sit down and have a conversation, and as soon as he sits down to have this conversation, who comes stalking around but Philip? So Tauren tells Kandi he is fake. And Kandi was like, well, why do you say that? So he recounts to Kandi the interaction that he just had with this guy and was like, look, your dude just tried me like a little boy, and I've been in this business for over 12 years. And he let her know, if he keep trying me, I'm going to react. In other words, I'm going to knock his head off his shoulders if he keep talking to me like he crazy. So unless you want some more headlines for your establishment, you better check them. Kandi reacts by telling him, well, obviously he's not in that space anymore, so you can go in there and measure now. No. You better go do something about this dude. Kandi goes to talk to him. He's sitting with Juan, already lying on Tauren. So Kandi goes and asks him, what happened now? Philip just starts lying. He's crazy. Tauren is crazy. I was sitting in there and Kandi said, well, listen, he says he just came in to do measurements and you kind of jumped on him. And he just came in all strong like we need him. Just say you want him, okay? And go sit down. You came in all weak like they don't need you, and that's your problem. You want to be needed, and you are in a position that's interchangeable. You know that you are replaceable. Somebody like Tauren has proved that he is not replaceable, which is why they have asked him back. Philip keeps going on about how, he said he was brought back to do events, but I don't need him to manage events. If y'all want to bring him back, y'all can, but he's going to have to report to y'all. All of a sudden, Kandi remembers that this is her business. And Kandi told old boy, now you tripping. I pay you, not the other way around. What you're not going to do is come in here and tell me who I can and cannot hire, and tell me what you are and are not going to do for the check that I give you. See, remember that conversation you was having with Chandrika in episode 1, where you wanted to tell her about how you don't go back and forth with people that you employ to do a job? That's this conversation. For real. With who really does employ you, who really does have the power to send you home until you never come back. Ain't calm, hubby? So fast forward to, I guess it's the next day. Chandrika is doing her hostess job, and next thing you know, all of a sudden, she is the best of friends with Philip. She's just a kikiing and a smiling and letting him know how good she does her job, and she's one in a million. But while I'm talking to you, let me let you know, Brandon wasn't doing his job. Brandon was sitting at the bar, and I had to pick up the slack, and I just wanted to tell on Brandon. Philip decides to pull Brandon aside and have a conversation with Brandon about what Chandrika just told him, and basically tell him that it's unprofessional to be sitting at the bar and sitting on your phone and all of this. So fast forward to Brandon going back inside the restaurant, and after he has been talked to about his unprofessionalism, he literally goes and picks an issue with Brian and Rashad over the same thing. Brian is sitting at the bar talking to Rashad. He had literally just sat down. And Brandon comes in and is telling him he needs to get up and this is unprofessional. And so he's like, now, mind you, he's not privy to the conversation that Brandon just had with Philip. So his thing is, well, hold on. You were just sitting at the bar yesterday. And now you're telling me it's unprofessional for me to do today. And Brandon doesn't cite, well, I just had this conversation with Philip and this is what Philip said. No, Brandon's reasoning is, well, I can do it because I'm a manager, but he can't because he's not. Y'all are so unscrupulous and unprofessional, it's not even funny. Brian is basically laughing in his face like you're a joke. He goes and finds Philip and proceeds to lie on Brian and say how Brian, was sitting at the bar and Brian wasn't taking him serious. He didn't like Brian's reaction. And Philip just takes off with a battery in his back. He wants to meet with Don, Juan, and Brian, and he is letting Brian know what's not going to be tolerated and how he will terminate him. And Brian had to let him know, baby, before you terminate me, it'll be a new manager in here. It's temporary, honey, okay? Listen, I live for Brian. Brian will tell you 96 different ways how you can go to hell. I'll give you a map to get there if you want it. You know what dawned on me also while I was watching this exchange between them? And Brian was giving it to Philip. You know what I noticed? Philip says little things and has little undertones in the statements he makes that though, you know what I think it is? Though he's a gay man, I think he dislikes flamboyant gay men because either part of him wants to be flamboyant or a part of him has some internalized issues with flamboyant gay men that maybe you feel like they should conduct themselves differently because he has a different kind of heat for Tauren and Brian, and it just does not make sense. Something is wrong. Philip decides that he is going to suspend Brian, and Brian asked him for what? And of course he's pissed and he's loud, and just like I said, this dude lives for reactions. And Philip said for that, right there, that. And Don Juan, rather than checking Philip, because doesn't Philip report to you? He's talking about Brian is insubordinate. Y'all are y'all's own problem. Y'all don't know how to run a business. Don Juan goes outside to talk to Brian because Brian is upset. And he's basically telling Brian, you're going to have to learn to respect him because what he says goes. I do not subscribe to that bull. The whole you're just gonna have to let him disrespect you. Absolutely not. And like Brian said, he doesn't give any respect, but he expects respect, and it does not work like that. That's the long and short of it. So Don Juan goes back in the restaurant to talk to old feisty Philip, and he's upset, got an attitude. Now he's yelling about, I don't like what just happened. Okay, well, should you be suspended now too? And so now it starts to backfire on him. That Don Juan says, listen, I understand that you don't like what just happened. And I get that maybe he had an attitude. However, this is also about the third fight that I've had to referee for you. That every time you go to have an interaction with somebody, you lose it. What is your problem? Philip has some nonsensical conclusion that because Don Juan took Brian outside to have the conversation with him, that he has now emboldened Brian and undermining him because Brian doesn't see him as authority anyway, and he's done putting up with it. Well, one, you're not authority. You work for Kandi. You don't run me. I work for Kandi too. Now, you can run your job, and I will do my job in conjunction with your job to make sure that the job gets done. But you don't run nothing. You don't own nobody. You are not an authority figure in my life. Moving on to, we see Chandrika has been invited to teach water aerobics to Kandi's mom and her aunts. They do the water aerobics. Aunt Bertha done told them go to hell. She ain't about to play around in this water. She know what to do when she get in the bathtub. So she gets out the pool. She sit on the side. She kick her legs around a little bit. But she ain't about to be jumping around in this water for nothing. Damn, I love Aunt Bertha. So after the water aerobics, they're sitting around talking, and Dominique and Chandrika are letting Kandi know what's going on at the restaurant, and that Brian has been recently suspended, and Philip is threatening to fire him. And she's asking, well, why? And we don't know. You go ask your boy. You pay him. Chandrika is saying how they've been getting along better because now he knows that she can do her job. And here comes Mama Joyce. But no, whatever it is you did, you just stopped doing. That's why y'all getting along better. Like, please, Mama Joyce is just so unreasonable and so persistent and so sure that she's right and not even willing to hear this girl out or consider the fact that maybe this guy really ain't no good. No, whatever you was doing, you stopped doing. Let's just tell the truth about that. No, how about this guy is a menace? How about that? And so the aunts are sitting around in their confessional talking, and Mama Joyce, I like Philip. You know, he's a no-nonsense kind of guy. And Aunt Nora right there co-signing, yeah, I like him. Aunt Bertha said, I can't stand him. That's my damn girl. Aunt Nora, well, to me, Aunt Bertha said, put on there. Aunt Bertha say she can't stand him. I don't care how they feel. I can't stand him. Y'all can put it on me. That's a gangster. You hear? Tell him I said it. And tell him if he got some questions, he can come ask me so I can tell him to his damn face. I love Aunt Bertha. So the episode comes to an end with a really, really sentimental scene between Tauren and Brian, where they're getting together just to, kick it. And they're talking about what Brian has been through recently. He really, really struggled with drinking during the quarantine. And unfortunately, he also lost his sister. She took her own life, and next to her was a bottle of liquor that was the same size as the bottle he has been consuming daily. And so he got to the point where he decided he wanted to be better, and he is doing better. And it's a beautiful thing to see him blossoming into who he is, because he's really a beautiful person and he has such a story. And it pisses me off to see him being treated the way he's being treated, especially when he's going through what he's going through. And this is a perfect example of what I tell people all the time. Be careful how you treat people, because you don't know what people are dealing with. And this man is in his grief process and is trying to live his life and make money and pay his bills. And while he is literally trying to keep his head above water and trying to maintain amidst his grief, you are trying to get your rocks off by picking at him. I hope you know you will get yours. That's where this episode came to an end. That was 3 episodes and 1 review, and it's just too much for me. Thank you so much for listening. Let me get it off my chest. Please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I will see you next time. Love you, mean it. Bye.